Okay, so we go from feature films to streaming. So there has been a movie out now for, oh, I don't know, almost 5 weeks now. And it basically has taken everybody by storm. And no, I'm not talking about I'm not talking about Super Mario. I'm talking about its counterpart, the film that came out the same day. And I'm talking about Air. I'm talking about Air. Air is so anybody who has seen this film knows what I'm referring to. This is once again we have a feel good movie. This is such a cool movie. Um, I just we all know who Michael Jordan is. Okay, we all know who he is. We also know, what Air Jordans are. Um, I think that when you know the story behind how the Air Jordans were made, it's really fascinating to see um, the story. And that being said, this is what it is. And so the reason I bring this up is because Air, okay, is going to be moving to streaming. And so this comes to us from the Hollywood Reporter, and it says Amazon reveals streaming date release for Ben Affleck's Air. Ben Affleck's critically acclaimed Air will become available to stream on Amazon Prime Video on May 12th after an exclusive run in theaters across the world. The star studded period sports drama, which sparked an early Oscar buzz, makes a new era for Amazon Studios in terms of how it's releasing original titles. Instead of sending Air straight to streaming, the studio has agreed to abide by a traditional theatrical window to give the movie a robust run in thousands of theaters. Air will have played exclusively on the big screen for 39 days when it premieres on Prime Video in more than 240 countries and territories worldwide. Written by Alex Convey, Air is led by Matt Damon, Viola Davis, Jason Bateman, Chris Messina, Matthew Maher, Marlon Wayans, Chris Tucker, and Ben Affleck also stars. Damon portrays Nike former Nike executive Sonny Verasco, while Ben Affleck plays um, Phil Knight, who of course was the CEO of the company. And it's his story involving Nike's long shot effort to sign rising star basketball player Michael Jordan to a shoe contract in the mid 1980s, an endorsement that seemed impossible, but thanks to the Maverick sneaker salesman, that would become the most significant relationship between an athletic brand and an athlete ever, launching the global multi-billion-dollar contemporary sneaker industry, uh, what we have today. Viola Davis plays Dolores Jordan, his mother. Air globally Air's global box office gross to date is $70 million, including $47 million domestically and 31.6 million overseas. The film cost $90 million to produce before marketing. That does not account that does not account for the additional tens of millions Amazon paid to take the project off the table. The film is backed by Amazon Studios, Skydance Sports, and Mandalay Pictures. It's also the first project from Affleck and Matt Damon's artist equities, in addition to marking the first time Affleck directed a feature film starring his longtime pal Damon. Amazon handed Air's release North America, while Warner Brothers International is overseas duties and his distribution through MGM. Okay, let's talk about this. Um, I love this movie. I love this movie. I love this movie. I love this movie. It is so much fun. Everything from the 1980s aesthetic, which you'll see in a couple of pictures, whether it's the hairdo or whether it's the, things in the room. For example, an Apple IIe, which my parents had back in the 80s. whether it's a Diet Coke, thing, whether it's the 80s commercials on television. It's just amazing. I love this movie. Um, Now, any Oscar buzz? I doubt it. I very much doubt it. I mean, I think it's a cool film, but at the end of the day, I just don't see this getting any. Maybe, but it's. I mean, there's a couple of different things. Maybe it came out too early in the season, whatever else. All of that being said, though, this is really great on a number of different levels. Okay, number one, we have a film that's made in to date. It has made $79 million. Okay, and it has a $90 million budget. So it is almost made back all of its money. That's incredible. So it's only about $10 million away, and it's probably going to get damn close near to that once it comes out next week. Okay, or 10 days. That's number one. Number two, this is what the model should be because it is only 45 days. And this is what the biggest problem I have with Netflix is because you have something in a movie like A Glass Onion that they only keep in theaters one day or 1 week, okay? And subsequently, what ends up happening is they pull it. And Netflix, I can't stand Netflix and their model. With all of the other things. But yeah, this is a fantastic movie. I've seen it. I want to see it again. I'll probably buy it when it comes out in streaming. Um, I just loved it, and it makes you wonder. So there's a couple of cool stories behind this. Number one, the last day of filming, okay, Affleck came over to the screenwriter who's on set at the time, and he said, I want to give you full soul credit for writing this film, which basically launched his career. Now, unfortunately, we have the writer's strike, so that kind of put a damper on it. But nonetheless, that's amazing. You're having one of the premier A-list guys say, listen, we want you to have sole credit for it. Unbelievable. Because artist equities, what they're doing is they're giving back, right? Because they remember what it's like back in I think it was 96 or 97 when they ended up winning for Good Will Hunting. And so they want to launch other people's careers and they want to have, other people thrive. So that was fantastic to see. I wouldn't be shocked, okay, as we move forward and, depending on how long this lasts, I wouldn't be shocked to see a lot of, I won't say a lot, but a couple of other, what's the word I want? Origin story type of things. So we've had Tetris that recently came out. We have BlackBerry that is going to be coming out fairly recent, next month or two. This is another origin story, if you will. I wouldn't be shocked if they could, if they really wanted to, Damon's company or their company could actually move forward on another one and say, hey, look, guys, this was really successful. If this could be definitely a model they could go after. I don't think they want to do that, but it's something to investigate. The other thing too is when you know the story behind the screenwriter's journey. So of course, Alex, what he did was he ended up writing this during the pandemic, and the big influence for this was the ESPN documentary, The Last Dance. And so when you read this and you see this on screen, you're like, wow, this is really cool. And the other thing, too, is the last thing I'll touch upon about this movie that's so cool. Sonny Verasco, okay, basically helped change not only the marketing deals that athletes get, okay, but for the collegiate level, too. He was so at the end of the film, okay, and this isn't a spoiler, at the end of the film, when they're, the last scene there it flashes all of the present day or in the last couple of years things that have been going on. What Phil Knight's doing, Verasco, multitude of other people. He was actually very instrumental in what we have today in calling the NIL, okay? The National Image and Likeness. So college athletes, NCAA athletes, okay, can actually get paid for their likeness. And of course, Ed O'Bannon was, way back in the day when he was with UCLA. He wanted a piece because back many years ago, I'm not going to bore you with the whole story, is EA used to have these sports, or EA Sports used to have these games, and they would only be able to put the number on it, okay, for use. So number 13 for UCLA, and they would never put the name because it was a licensing thing. Well, Verasco was very instrumental in helping getting that done. Now you have big name athletes, okay, in college, okay, being able to earn money. And that's a huge thing. So, I mean, and it's true of any sport of them, whether it's basketball, whether it's football, whether it's hockey, whether it's lacrosse. And I mean, they're even, you can even go so far right now and find it on, Cameo. If you go to cameo.com right now, where you can actually find athletes doing this. It's fascinating. So, anyways, that's Air. I love this movie. I can't wait to own it. I'm probably going to buy a physical copy of it. That's how much I really, really enjoy it. Anyways, guys, what do you think? What do you think about this movie, Air? Did you see it in the theater? How many times have you seen it in the theater? If you did, are you going to go and own or buy Air? Was there any cast member that you really enjoyed more, one over the other? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and I'll get back to everybody.